Stay ahead of the constant flow of new content to make informed analyses and decisions. Thanks to the quick and customizable AI setup, you'll receive results in no time. The new dashboard offers comprehensive control for monitoring incoming global data and gaining deeper insights through informative graphs. Enhance your data analysis experience with a well-organized system for easily accessing and overviewing thousands of relevant data sources for your product.
This is also very neat because I've got a full list of sources that are included, and that would show up in the audit report, which is exactly what I want to see, that I performed this activity, got this kind of result, and I documented that it was done. I prepared a case study based on one of my recent projects, which was those anticoagulants. And it's interesting for a couple of reasons. So let's dive in. This product in Europe, it was always a medical device. And under MDD, it was Annex 2. Under MDR, it's Annex 8, Rule 3. There really isn't much ambiguity about this one. However, in the US, it's classified as a drug, and that affects our search. The purpose of use, it's used within the hemodialysis machine, and the main purpose of use would be continuous renal replacement therapy and a replacement of liver functions and a couple of others that are generally related. With the codes, that's the part that is very important for linking the correct products. So this is the part that will be essential when we look into how the back end functions, and the GMDN term is what I would be using for searches. So whenever I search for any kind of product, I try to use some standard terminology as much as possible. I can prepare a custom hub, which is what I've done in this case. And we can go through all those tabs that define what kind of information I'm searching for.
May I interrupt just quickly? I said I won't have the intention of making this a marketing or sales presentation, but this is very good looking. No, I'm just kidding. When you said that you created a custom hub, there are two more alternatives, right?
Yeah.
Just so people understand why you chose the custom version. So the first, what you have as a user there would be that you could either select that you would like to put up surveillance and vigilance on a unique device or product, a brand name, which includes then that you could perform the vigilance because the system will recognize similar products and so on. But then if you would like to go for a higher level, which would be product type, you would select the midsection, or if you want to build, if you prefer to build with Lego and create your completely custom module, then you select the custom one. And it is for expert users, which, Veronika, I would say that you're by far so. So sorry for interrupting, but I just wanted to take the opportunity to explain that.
The product brand is fantastic. It generally works really good for big brands because it picks up pretty much everything what's out there. With product type, depends what you are looking for. It's fantastic for literature and getting regulatory standards and any kind of guidelines. Here, I was looking for something a little different, so that's why I picked this one, and also wanted to showcase some of the components that wouldn't be in either of those. Exactly. But that's just a bit of a hybrid for this particular case study.
Yeah.
Here, the thing that I find the most important is it needs to be set up by a person who knows the product, because what I need to begin with is the instructions for use and the certificates, and to find a correct classification, and the rule, and the purpose of use, indications, contraindications, and composition, and also the risk management file, because when I'm looking for some kind of very specific type of event, then I would absolutely need to understand where this kind of information is coming from. So with the intended uses, I cover not just whatever is listed in the instructions for use, but also the related terms that that already came up in literature searches when doing clinical evaluation report. So it's useful to do it together when you put together your post-market surveillance plan, and it's closely tied together. So whatever was already defined in the PMS plan, then that's what I'm going to look for here. Life cycle stage is post-market and production. The components, it would differ from product to product, but that's the part that closely relates to design, and sometimes it would be a wavelength with some lasers, or with ultrasound, it would be some technical specification, just anything that defines the product and filters out the noise. That's where it would go. It really helps to keep the search lean and very, very precise. Makes a difference. With here, because I know that it's a pharmaceutical product in the US, I picked both. So I've got a medical device and a pharmaceutical product. Otherwise, it would be just a medical device. But here, I'm looking in pharma databases, so that absolutely would make a difference where the engine would be looking for the answer. With similar products in Europe, I'm primarily looking for equivalence as defined. So this is a series of products. There are different concentrations. Each of them has a different equivalent. So here I would be probably listing all of them, and not just those. I'm also going to search other databases such as DailyMed and DrugPunk to identify any kind of medicinal products that already would be registered in other countries in the US and in Canada, where I know that it's sodium citrate. I know that it's extracorporeal, which is non-IV and non-laboratory use. So that's very specific type of use, and this kind of search will pick up anything that I might be interested in, not too broad, but very well targeted, with indications that depends on the patient's condition. Also listed, probably not in the instructions for use, but absolutely should be listed in your risk management file. So this may overlap with intended uses, but sometimes it's the same. The selection of countries, it makes a difference, because otherwise you end up with a lot of information that wouldn't be relevant and wouldn't directly relate to the product itself. So here I left the EU, UK and Switzerland, and the US, where I know it's a drug. Here it's a device, and that's the result. I set up everything. Now I can add the surveillance modules and wait for all those databases to get scanned, and then select anything that might be appropriate. You can see that it's running the search in all those different sources. That's something that manually would be very cumbersome and also very difficult to document. So the neat part about this, it's end-to-end process. I start with good knowledge of the product. I set up the search, and then let it do its magic. In the end of the day, I end up with a limited number of records. If it's 6 records for I don't know, a quarter or something, it's fantastic. That's ideal. That means it was correctly filtered out. If I end up with a few hundred, then I absolutely want to reduce the number by targeting the search properly, because nobody wants to read through several hundred of records of this kind and archive them all. So that wouldn't make sense. So the good targeting, that's the magic of the consultant or the person who is working with it. The literature section is really neat, especially because it monitors. Well, it enables monitoring of very targeted type of sources, and that can be done in 2 ways: either selecting a specific type of journals that would be appropriate for this type of product. Here we are talking about hemodialysis almost exclusively, so there's no point searching psychopharmacology or dermatology or anything else. It's very, very precise to one medical field. In other devices, it wouldn't be the case, because you would have the articles scattered all over. But here we are just literally looking at kidneys and liver. So again, I pick the articles that would be relevant and bookmark them or tag them and archive the rest. And or alternatively, I can select journals that would be appropriate, and just limit the number of sources that it would scan. This is also very neat because I've got a full list of sources that are included, and that would show up in the audit report, which is exactly what I want to see, that I performed this activity, got this kind of result, and I documented that it was done. For vigilance, I can create a specific data field. Can do it essentially in 2 ways. Either select the exact device name, which I did here, even though it doesn't make sense because in the US it's a drug, so it wouldn't be in a device database. I just included it to illustrate that it can be done this way. And MHRA Pharm, where you would be able to find field safety corrective actions. I know that there are none for this kind of product, so it's nice to have the process documented. And the best part about it is that you can create a report, which is basically, this is what it looks like. Report summary, a month. I did it in or I got it in my email, then downloaded it from my email, and it gives me everything that was searched for this period of time, and there's nothing, but it's well documented. It's absolutely beautiful. That's exactly what I need here. Number of relevant articles after selection. So clinical trials again, none selected. So I'm very happy. I've got the documentation that the activity was done, and it it didn't hurt. So that's how I do it. Trying to make everybody's life easier when doing this kind of like regular follow up.
Both funny and also useful that you show an example where there are 0 in the results for a month. Sometimes we struggle with new users coming in using the platform, and they realize for a period that there is simply nothing. And as a human being used to use Google for searches and so on, you always expect a result. But in this case, for surveillance and vigilance, no news is good news.
Yes.
Or can be good news. And
there are free reports for the whole time that are documented, and I know about literally one field safety corrective action over like 20 years time.
Yeah.
So I do not expect much happening here, but documenting the process can be a real pain.